My name is Olav Vulchanov, and I'm an early-stage researcher in the EU-funded innovative training network GLOMO. I'm also a PhD candidate in Copenhagen Business School. Born in Trondheim, Norway, with a Bulgarian family, I know firsthand that limiting your life to one country can be hard in this age. Throughout my youth, I have lived in the United States, the UK, and Belgium, and now I live and work in Copenhagen. Having moved around, I've always been fascinated by mobility. The fact that there are many employees with far more impressive traveling resumes makes me wonder, how do people manage, and what makes it all possible? As international careers are becoming increasingly common, there is a lot we still do not know about how individuals deal with the mobile reality and what their workplace can do to ensure that the potential of their mobile employees is fully utilized. Besides the legislation which allows mobility, there is a myriad of other factors which potentially influence the nature and outcome of employee mobility. One of these factors is language. Globally, thousands of official languages are spoken, and many countries recognize more than one. Naturally, international businesses and their employees will encounter a diverse linguistic landscape. A very basic but fundamental precondition for employees to function at a workplace is their ability to communicate clearly with their colleagues. Many multinational corporations have chosen to address this issue by adopting English as a common corporate language, even when they do not stem from an English-speaking country. An example of this trend can be found in Denmark, where an estimated 6 out of 10 Danish international enterprises claim to be using English as a corporate language in 2016. However, there are many ways to implement this approach, and the different policies may have vastly different outcomes, both for the company and its employees. A central question to ask is whether a company's English language policy facilitates or hinders the international mobility of its employees. As there are great differences between corporations, their staff, and the context they operate within, it is difficult to propose which policies and approaches to English corporate languages fit universally. However, through qualitative case studies, it is possible to gain a detailed impression of how specific English corporate language policies are implemented and how they interact with the corporation's workforce. In my project, I aim to find out what is the relationship between policy and practice in specific organizations, and how companies can manage language policy in an international workforce. Based on my findings, I aim to conclude on how different contextual circumstances may decide which approaches to English language policies may best suit a corporation. Practical implications of the project could be policy recommendations of how corporations could assess their own linguistic profile and needs, while considering the makeup and communicative habits of their staff. Based on this assessment, an organization could shape its communicative guidelines, staffing policies, and training programs in a manner which makes sense in the corporation's context.